All right, good evening and welcome to the Town of Douglas Conservation Committee for September 22nd. This meeting is being recorded and broadcasted by local access programming and with remote participation available as provided on our agenda. Is there anyone here recording tonight's meeting? I hereby call the meeting in order at 6:31. Members in attendance, roll call.
Brendan Doyle.
Kate Thompson.
Josiah Birch.
Jim Florin. And Mark will be joining us shortly. All right. First on the agenda, let's see. Which is the public hearing, notice of intent for Sunam Tamang, 17 Arnold Road, septic repair.
The applicant has requested a continuation to October 6th, Mr. Chairman.
All right. We will continue that. All right, old business. Number 2. DP 143-1121, public hearing continued, notice of intent for Douglas Highway, Maple Street and Row, road drainage improvements, map lot. Anyone here for that?
Yes.
Come on.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dave Glenn from Stantec. I'll be representing the applicant's the Town of Douglas Highway Department.
Have a seat and have some banana bread.
Yeah, I know.
Banana cookie, banana bread.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take it to go.
Hi, I'm Lori Benoit with Stantec, also present online.
Evening, Laurie. I guess what we wanted to do tonight was we submitted a response to the commission last week, a written response. The last hearing back in July 7th, the commission had a couple comments on our notice of intent application at that hearing. And then subsequent to July 7th, Stantec and the commission received comments from DEP. They were dated July 18th, 2025. So based on those comments, we did submit, again, a revised response to the commission's comments of July 7th. And then we also provided a response to the DEP comments of July 18th. We submitted a hard copy of those. I can go over our responses to
That'd be
those.
great.
I do have a hard copy. I don't know, Laurie, do you have the response letter?
Is it attachment A?
Well, there was a response letter too. I guess I wanted to start with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to, I've got a cover letter here.
Should I share?
Is it the July 2nd letter?
No,
It's
it's just
dated September 15th,
September 15th.
Okay, so
supplemental.
why don't we give them sharing ability?
Okay, she can share.
All right, you good.
Okay, let me hit the share button. Yeah, so the September 15th letter with attachments.
Okay, that's it.
Dave, do you want to start with the addressing the revised general construction sequencing schedule?
Sure. Assume everybody has a copy of the response letter?
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it, Laurie. Thank you.
Okay. Actually, I think what was requested was simply to include a line item in the construction sequence to have the Conservation Commission inspect and approve the sediment and erosion controls prior to the start of construction activities. So that was included as a bullet, the second bullet here in this revised construction sequencing.
I have no issues, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, yeah. And then,
Go ahead.
Dave, the revised control of watering, dewatering.
Yes, and the second comment was the initial control of dewatering was a draft submission back when we first submitted, so we finalized that, and we submitted an attachment to that, so that specification has been finalized, and that's in the package. It's a final control of the water and dewatering for the project itself. So that's been finalized and included in the package.
Anything else?
Those were really the two comments from the Conservation Commission back in July. Again, what we want to respond to now is Mass DEP, had several comments on the actual application itself. The first comment they had is I can read it verbatim if you want.
Sure.
It says, the narrative discusses constraints with fully meeting the stream crossing standards with the replacement, but does not discuss other options beyond in kind. For other designs that may not fully meet, but are an improvement over the existing crossing, explored to better maximize extent practical per 1053-8. And our response was, in the initial NOI narrative, we did discuss 4 alternatives regarding the stream crossing standards, and those alternatives included a no-build alternative. Number 2 was relocate the location of the proposed drainage outlet to avoid impacts to land and the water bodies. Alternative 3 was replace the existing culvert with an open bottom box culvert. And alternative number 4, which was the preferred alternative, was the proposed design currently shown on the NOI plans. So again, we attached those narrative or that discussion as part of this response submission that was discussed in the initial NOI application. And then we also added a comment in regards to the stream bed substrate in the culvert itself. That's comment number 5 on page 3. It says replacement with a deeper culvert to accommodate the channel substrate, replacement of the existing culvert with a larger culvert to accommodate a minimum of 2 feet of channel substrate in the culvert would meet the substrate criteria and general standards of the Mass Stream Crossing Standards. This alternative would necessarily require lowering the culvert outlet inlet by approximately 3.6 feet to provide a reasonable access for upstream moving aquatic fauna. This alternative would provide approximately 23 feet of channel length with natural substrate that is consistently shaded by overlying roadway, but would not provide for a substantial improvement in the aquatic organism passage due to the existing weir. This alternative is therefore identified as infeasible and with minimal benefits to the aquatic habitat or fauna. On a second question from DEP, they said Mass DEP notes that the current culvert is corrugated and asked if the HDPE replacement pipe is smooth or corrugated, as a smooth pipe can increase the velocity due to the loss of roughness. A natural stream bed within the culvert may not be possible with higher velocities due to a smooth pipe. And Stantec's response was the proposed HDPE replacement pipe is smooth with an estimated end value of 0.012. To control velocities, the proposed splash pad at the culvert outlet will consist of an existing native stream bed material placed over a modified rock fill and crushed stone bedding material. And then we attached to attachment C was a culvert analysis report that we provided And on page 8 of that report, it identifies the proposed velocities at the outfall. And if you refer to that page, the velocities are less than 5 feet per second based on a stream bed material being provided at that outlet.
So which alternative are you doing here? 1, 2, or 3?
4.
You're doing 4. That's the one that we're,
That's the one that was shown on the,
Preferred alternative, they call it.
that's the preferred alternative?
yes. That was on the-
And the pipe is the same size as what was there?
Yes.
And you didn't want to increase the pipe size?
The concern we're running into is, again, the inlet control structure is a weir that is located on private property.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's approximately a 4-foot drop from the top of the weir to the bottom of the pipe, so to do any more, we're not looking to change that structure at all.
Okay, because
So we're replacing in kind existing 36-inch
Right,
pipe.
because
it is on private property.
it is on private property, they'd have to get the permission of the owner, and then there's the issue with the drop in elevation.
Right.
So if they change it, like, they might be changing the entire elevation of the pond because they'd have to do a lot more work. And one of the things about alternatives analysis for reconstruction projects like this, it's the, what's the word, the maximum extent feasible. And one of the things they are able to take into consideration for maximum extent feasible is construction costs for redevelopment. Can you tell me what the reconstruction costs to go on the private property, redo the weir and all that versus what you're doing now? Would it be not that expensive, or would it be prohibitively expensive?
No, we provided some backup on that, on a supplemental submission. I think it came up with about $500,000. And that does not include obtaining any property, any easements. You know, that was basically just the civil site component within the right-of-way itself.
So you're saying, and you've done the work on this, so you're saying that it'd be an additional cost to the town of at least $500,000 to do that area on the
Yes.
the weir?
Yes.
Okay. So, for your consideration.
Well,
Anything else?
The last comment from DEP was Mass DEP recommends a condition that requires that the restored stream bed to consist of a material should be a mixture of gradation with smaller material particles to fill in voids to prevent subsurface flows. Please provide additional detail on embedding in the proposed substrate. So what we provided was the initial NOI had a detail of that outfall, which basically showed the stream bed material over a modified rock fill over a crushed stone base. So we provided that detail again in the submission. And then we also...
So not to interrupt you, but that's already, you made that change to the plan
Yes,
already?
yes.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be made a special condition because it's already, you've made the change already on the plan?
That's correct.
Okay.
And then just for the commission's knowledge, we included a photograph of the existing stream bed material that's out there now. And that's basically what's going to be replaced again at that outfall for the culvert. And you can see the stream bed material is anywhere from 4 to 6 inches to maybe 8 to 10 inches, and that's basically going to be placed back in place once the work's completed.
So basically, you took an inventory of what the stream bed materials are now, so that when you do the reconstruction, the materials that put back in are as close as possible to what the materials already
Well,
are.
we're actually looking to excavate the stream bed material, stockpile it, put it in the modified rock fill, the crushed stone, and then put back
And put it back.
the existing stream bed material.
There you go.
okay.
And that was the last comment from DEP.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, as far as I'm concerned, the applicant has answered, to my satisfaction anyway, every question that the commission has had and the DEP has had. So I'm satisfied, unless you have more questions.
I don't. Does anyone else have any other questions? All right.
I recommend, you have to go to the public first.
Any comments from the public or online? All right, so we can close the hearing.
Yeah, unless you have any other comments you want to make.
Any other? Josiah, or?
All right, then, yeah, I recommend closing the public hearing and moving on to a vote.
All right. Close the public hearing for DP 143-1121, Douglas Highway, Maple Street and Row. And then, does someone want to make a,
I recommend approval with standard special conditions.
So make a motion to approve this with standard special conditions as proposed.
do I have a second?
Second.
All right. So we have approved to, for DP 143-1121, public hearing for Douglas Highway, Maple Street and Row, road drainage improvements for standard conditions. Roll call.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Jim Foran, aye.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 to 0. Approved standard special conditions. Okay. All set? Thank you.
Great, all right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can take one.
No, I think you guys may be happy later, or ladies too, excuse me. Or maybe the audience may want some too.
Is there anything to say?
Thank you.
Yes, there is, of course. You are, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
All right, next on our agenda is public hearing continued for Steve Flagg, 3 Hugh Road, single-family home, map 111, lot 44.
Hi,
Hi.
Steve Flagg, 3 Huff Road, and we're with Scott Jordan up remotely.
All right.
Have a cookie.
Thank you.
Good evening, folks. Scott Jordan from Ecotech. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so since we last met, we did do some minor plan revisions that were requested. It looks like Brandon is throwing that plan up.
If you feel more
We
comfortable.
reduced the driveway area behind the garage. If you recall, we were pretty close to the that northerly, I'll call it, property boundary before, and the commission was concerned about that, so we've backed that off the property line. We had put a Cape Cod berm there in addition to prevent any runoff from going that direction. The concern was runoff heading to the north towards House 7 Huff Road. And if you can see the drainage arrow directions on the driveway, it is entirely pitched to drain to the south. So nothing will run towards house number 7. Again, it's not a large driveway. Runoff will pitch to the south and maybe some infiltration in the lawn, or it can be intercepted by that swale we discussed before that's in that right-of-way there. So those were the requested revisions, and if you have any questions, we can try to answer them.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
going back on Samantha's notes, there were 4 things on her last on our notes from last time. So there was the condition to pitch the driveway,
Yep.
right? It sounds like from what Mr. Jordan's saying, they've done that. And it looks to me like they have as well. I can see the grade lines. Narrow the driveway, moving the trench at least. Scott, what can you say to that? That was one of the comments. Narrow the driveway, moving the trench at least 4 feet. That was a comment that was made last time.
Yeah, if you recall, the driveway and the trench were right basically on the property line, very close to it. So you can see that shaded driveway now. We backed it up, I forget how many feet it was, but we're certainly not on the property line any longer.
Very good.
Is that about 10 feet that you moved it back?
Yeah, let me see what the engineer said about that. I don't have a scale plan in front of me.
Yeah, this one's kind of tough. But you could tell that the driveway is moved over quite a bit.
Yes.
Yep. Because
Compared to the previous plan, I don't know how many folks saw that or recall that one, but
yeah,
there's a lot of concern about it being very close to the property line.
Yeah, that was my concern because of it going into the well in the next door neighbor's property. And their well being so close to the property line. And I guess it's an artesian well too, so it's a shallow well. That was the concern the last time.
Pardon me.
No, go ahead, Scott.
The engineer's email said 15 feet.
Well, it's been moved over 15 feet.
Yeah, so the 4 things we had was the water be directed away from the property line. Narrowing the driveway so the limit is on the property line and pitching 5 feet from limit of work.
Which it is, yeah.
It's,
Yeah, you can
Now
see
you have
the
planted 10 shrubs.
whole thing.
oh, yeah,
All the way.
And then-
In line with the,
Yep.
And then move the driveway 5 feet narrow. Yep,
Which they have.
roughly 10 feet drainage to the left, the northwest direction, and then the other drain to the right, and 10 shrubs.
Yeah, I think we were looking for at least 10 feet. That was,
Yes.
yeah.
It looks like they've done all that. Scott, can you explain where the shrubs are? The 10 native shrubs to be planted? Did you?
Yeah, we didn't put any shrub icons on the plan. We felt like that what was discussed, and I believe Sam agreed last time, was, make it a special condition, and that gives them some leeway. We talked about the northerly end of the property boundary along the, let's see, the plan, it's not quite oriented north, towards the lake. The north end of the property, on both sides along the property boundary, it's sort of like a buffer. We would plant native vegetation. That gives them some leeway. I think, what did we come up with, 10 total native shrubs?
Yes.
So, they can throw them anywhere up there in the buffer zone, really, that they want. But, we didn't show them on the plan. I think Sam acknowledged that that's really not necessary. That may doesn't give them any leeway to move them around a bit.
So
They'll probably end up being pushed to the sides. Everyone has a hedgerow sort of along their property boundaries.
okay, so my recommendation, Mr. Chairman, if they're not going to be on the plan, that a special condition be made that before the plants are installed, that the species be approved by the conservation agent at a minimum before being put in the ground, and then an inspection once they have, to assure that they are indeed the correct species and in the correct place, if that's okay with you.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So how are you going to determine the location? Are you,
With an inspection afterwards.
after they, what if, and move them if you don't like it, or?
Exactly. I mean, if they're not going to put them on the plan specifically, and they say, well, we're just going to put them in generally in the northerly part, but then they don't end up there, then they're subject to being moved.
Is that better than doing it before they plant them?
You know what, that's not a bad idea. You could do a site visit ahead of time with the species and agree on the locations that they're going to be planted. That's another option. If they don't want to put it on the plan, you got to do a little extra work.
If you don't like them when you get there, it's kind of a pain to then move them and dig another hole.
That's not a bad idea.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Just anywhere within your jurisdictional buffer zone, we will plant them, and they're probably going to be, there's already a hedgerow, as you can see that tree line there on the northerly side, and so they'll find spots for them up there in your buffer zone for sure. Yeah, we're agreeable to all those conditions.
I was looking at the construction sequence, Scott, on the site plan, and presume the plan here is to remove the existing two-bedroom house and the deck. Will the concrete pad be coming out too, or is that staying?
Oh, no, that's coming up.
Okay, so I imagine that with this construction, all that's going to have to happen first.
Yeah.
Can you tell me on this construction sequence where that's, I mean, logically, that should happen, but I've seen stranger things occur? So.
Well, there's just no room to get it out if we start construction prior.
Correct. This is why I want to make sure that that is on the construction sequence notes, and if not in the construction sequence notes on the plan, a special condition in the order of conditions.
That's fine.
That's fine. It seems like the most common sense thing, but common sense ain't so common.
So that's removal of the existing concrete?
Right, removal of the existing structures, including the existing deck and concrete pad, so we're clear about that, to happen before construction of other, the rest of the work. It makes sense, right? Like, it would have to be done, but I've seen stranger things happen, so I want to make sure it's clear.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any other comments?
Mr. Chairman, my only comment is that, I'm afraid of the runoff going into the neighbor's well. That's only.
Well, that's why.
But that's why. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that's why you did this extra work to, have it run away.
Josiah, do you want the consultant to further explain?
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Okay.
And you do have Board of Health approval for the tank, right?
Scott, can you comment on that?
Yeah, I can. So we were talking with Jen last week about that. Jen and I inquired with the project engineer, Kevin Quinn Engineering, and he said that he had emailed the Board of Health in June, asking if we could hook up install a new tight tank, and they said yes, go ahead, no permit needed. And then Jen said, well, can we get that, just a letter from him? So Kevin followed up, and this person, I forget his name, I don't want to get it wrong, said, oh, I misunderstood, I thought you were connecting into the old tight tank. So, yeah, you do have to get my approval. So that was all submitted last week by Kevin Quinn. Their emails, I think Jen was copied on those. So
She was.
I don't think that requires a hearing and full board approval, but I'm not certain. But that has been filed, so, as required in regulations, all of our permits have been filed.
Okay, so
I thought, Mr. Chairman, I thought that you had the approval of the tank.
Well, he
the
just
tight
explained
tank.
why the...
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was no,
miscommunication, misunderstanding. He thought we were hooking up to the old tank. So he said, yeah, you're all set, but we are indeed putting in a new tank. So
okay, so
we certainly expect that approval, and it should not hold up this approval. I mean, you can't build without it. And if there was any big, huge, plan changes, we would come back to you for an amendment, if necessary, but it really has no bearing on the conservation approval.
So we're at the last stop for the final approval.
pretty much.
Right.
310 CMR 10.05 4E requires applicants to submit applications for all obtainable permits at the same time as filing with the Conservation Commission. They don't have to get those other permits first, they just have to have filed. So you have the option of closing and voting before the others are finished. And if the other boards change anything significantly, they would then have to come back. So I want to ask Mr. Jordan a quick question. So,
Yes.
so Scott, with what I just said, has the applicant filed for all obtainable local permits with other town boards that are applicable at this time?
It's my understanding, yes. I know we've been to ZBA. We filed last week for Board of Health.
Okay, and what was the decision with ZBA?
Approved.
Approved. What relief were you asking for?
Relief.
Non-conforming lot, I believe.
Yeah,
correct, Steve?
correct. Yeah, non-conforming laws.
Pre-existing non-conforming lot.
Okay. Thank you.
So just a quick question. If something does change with one of the other boards,
That ends
do
up
we find
impacting this design, yes, they would have to come back.
okay, so if we
Exactly.
approve it tonight and something does change, they just have to come back, worst case.
That's
we have
right.
to reevaluate.
That's right. I don't think there's any value in continuing again, because it ends up being like... who
Mr.
wants-
Chairman, I don't know about that logic, because I thought that you already had the approval from the Board of Health for the tank. I was just asking the question one more time, and I don't think we should vote until the Board of Health says it's okay.
That's your prerogative.
That's my opinion,
Majority.
Mr. Chairman, yeah.
I know at the last meeting, we were hesitant to approve anything or vote on anything until we had the approval from the Board of Health. I don't know.
This is
Yeah, that's
My
why,
opinion on this
yeah.
is if we've already gone through this a couple times,
Yeah.
why go another time? If anything changes with these other boards of permits, then they have to come back to us anyways. If we approve it tonight, contingent upon those being finally approved, they don't come back, nothing changes, we're done. I don't think pushing the can down the road a little bit is going to help anybody, in my opinion.
I have
Through the chair, if I can remind folks, this is a tight tank for consideration. This is not a septic.
Yeah.
This is just a tank in the ground. So certainly expect approval in short order. Something to consider.
Is there a way that we could make it a special condition, or is it already a special condition if it doesn't get approved by these other boards?
No, I think,
If it doesn't get approved by the other board, then
We can't build.
then you can't build.
Can't build.
Anyway.
Yeah, so,
All boards have to approve. If just one of them denies, then they're effectively all denied.
all right. Is there anyone else that would like to make a comment or has a comment about this? Public? No?
Anybody in the audience?
Anyone in the audience have anything?
On Zoom?
On Zoom? All right, then we will, someone want to make one? Can I just close it? Sorry. Or do I?
With this one, I would ask, because it sounds like there's different opinions on whether or not it should be closed.
All right, does someone want to make a motion to ask if this should be closed or not?
Or just make a motion to close and see if it gets seconded.
All right, I'll make a motion to close it.
I second it.
All right, so we will go ahead and close the hearing for 140.
Well, you take the vote.
Oh, sorry.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Josiah Birch, no.
Jim Four and I.
Okay, so it is closed, and now you can have discussion and vote.
I'm okay with going forward.
I think because the Board of Health, if they don't approve it,
It doesn't go through.
yeah.
And they did everything else that we've asked, right?
But I understand your concern.
You can speak.
Well, you closed it, so,
Yeah, but you can still, if you have a concern or something.
Yeah, that was one, I had two concerns, and they've done a lot of work to remove the water away from
Correct.
the well. And so the last thing for me was the tight tank, and I thought that was already approved by the Board of Health, and obviously it's not. I know you've been here like 3 times.
Right, but
So, I
the
mean,
tight tank
you know.
doesn't have any environmental impact being a tank. No,
Yeah, I mean, it's so close to the water too, and but
but it's going into a tank,
right, no, you're
It's
correct.
not in the buffer zone.
No.
and it's out of the buffer zone.
That's also correct.
It's up to you guys.
Yeah, so I was looking for that. I was looking for the approval, and you can't make a contingent on another board. You can't say,
Well, no, and if they didn't approve
you
it.
can't say the Board of Health,
Embossed, though.
you gotta, we can wait for their decision, but we can't make a contingent on their decision, so.
Well, I think by procedures, if you don't get their approval, technically we don't approve
Right.
it either. I think it's all or none.
Right.
Like Brandon was saying. So if we do approve it and it goes to another board, and like you said, if whichever board says we disagree with this and we're not going to approve it, technically our
Yeah.
approval, I would think it's,
No, it doesn't, right.
More,
You're-
not so much technically,
Correct.
effectively, it
Okay.
would be denied, right?
and then they would have to come back again because technically.
They would have to
the
come
plan
back, they would
changed.
have to try to resubmit to Board of Health to see if there was something else they would approve, and it would require a change to this plan, so they would have to come back here as well.
Someone want to make a motion?
We have special conditions too,
Here.
is that right?
The ones that are highlighted?
Oh,
Yep.
basically.
That's it.
You're on top of it, man.
I'm trying.
Make a motion to approve, right?
Yes.
The public hearing for notice of intent for Steam Flag at Reedview Road, map 111, lot 44, with the special condition that in the construction notes, we have the removal of the existing deck and concrete pad happening prior to construction, and the special condition that before the plants are installed and the species are decided on, they're discussed with the Conservation Commission prior to inspection. And there's an inspection that happens before all of that.
Yes.
I believe that's it.
And yep. Do I have a second?
I second.
All right, so we will have a roll call.
Can I see that?
Yeah.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Josiah Birch, no.
Jim Foreign, aye.
Okay. So it is approved.
So
3-1.
you're all set.
Thank you very much. Have a good night, folks.
I'm going to steal one. Oh, there's two in there. I don't want a two. I'll skip.
There's one with one.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, give us a moment, Mr. Chairman, to
No problem.
get this all written down.
Nope, that's fine.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking those notes.
Yeah.
Well,
So, right.
I was a little behind tonight, so I couldn't prep up here.
You're doing great, Jim.
Craig Gates, vote 3-1, Josiah
Brandon's
Hill.
doing that. Jen didn't ask us to.
Oh, and also Ray,
The first
Mark, and Mike.
Oh, ice.
notice of intent.
Good. That what?
She sent us an email earlier.
Oh, yeah, we-
Like the first one, I don't know if we did or not.
So it was to continue it.
Yeah.
So we already did.
Okay.
It was the very first one.
I just wasn't sure, do we need to like,
Open it?
she said we should open the public hearing and then just mark it.
Is there somebody here that was going to?
Okay.
Do you have
On to certificates of compliance. What do you need? Oh, yeah.
Here.
Oh, thank you. What if I don't approve of his charges?
On this one, Josiah, just don't sign it.
Yeah, I know that.
It makes
As soon as it comes here, yeah, I'll airmail it to you. Yeah.
Josiah, the one in the blue is just the normal
Yeah.
stuff that.
Bills? Yeah.
All right, so certificate of compliance and extensions. Request for certificate of compliance for DP 143-1027, Kara Brink and Anthony Terlizil at 2 Mawazaski Drive, map 268, lot 10. Hello.
Paul D. Simone with Colonial Engineering.
Do you want to tell us about?
Well, we submitted a request for certificate of compliance. I haven't heard anything back from your agent on anything, so I don't know if she got a chance to go out there or not.
Right. She did, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
So everything looks fine, except for that we will need an end of the growing season report for the replication area. So the recommendation at this time is a partial certification, partial cert.
I figured that.
So for the actual construction of the driveway and the house and the septic system and all that looks fine. But the replication area was only built last year.
Yes.
So this is the first growing season. We need 2 growing seasons. So we'll need, the earliest it'll be able to get a complete certification is around this time next year.
Okay.
But no problem by me or Sam issuing a partial certificate for the construction. And I don't recommend holding them up because replication areas require 2 growing seasons and construction often happens much faster than that.
Okay.
So that's my opinion.
And the stuff that they did plant is growing pretty decent right now.
Right.
Nothing is turned that we could see.
Okay. Well, you don't necessarily have to do a season end report this year. There just has to be a season end report at the end of the second years to show that you've got 75% growth and all that.
Not a problem.
Yeah. Okay. So don't forget to come back next year.
No. Can't remember what I had for breakfast.
Does anyone else have any comments?
So are we partially approving? Is that what you're recommending?
Correct. Yeah, so it would be a partial certificate of compliance for everything except for the wetland replication area, which me and Sam oversaw the construction of around this time last year.
And remind me of the advantage of a partial
If they want to sell the
They wanna sell
property,
the
if they
property.
want to clear deed, you give them partial, otherwise it's a cloud on the deed.
Gotcha.
And I don't see the need to hold it up on the owners because of
It's been
wetland
a year, right? 1 year?
Yeah, since the planting, yeah. The construction's been quite a while.
Right, but the construction's been quite a while. The thing is that the planting requires 2 growing seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a problem with the contractors back and forth, so it took a while for the plantings. That was the last thing.
I'm sorry, your name again, sir?
Paul DeSimone.
I'll make a motion for partial approval of the certificate of compliance.
Second?
All right, so I have a first and a second for partial compliance, just because we need, just for the end of the growing season, for 2 Makwowski Drive, map 268, lot 10. Roll call, please.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Jim Florin, aye.
Who was the motion? Who was the second?
Motion second.
Thank you. So it's 4-0 and Mike and Mark absent.
You are all set.
Okay, and can you send that directly to the owners?
Are they on the notice of intent or the certificate of compliance
They are.
request? And that, yeah, absolutely.
All righty, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, next one, request for a certificate of compliance for file number DG24-041, Anthony and Megan Ferraro, 134 U Street, map 222, lot 39.3. Just your name and address.
Megan Fierro, 134 U Street, Douglas, Mass.
All right, thank you. Do you want, go ahead.
Oh, so I am seeking our certificate of compliance for our Douglas filing. Construction finished earlier this year, or no, last year, sorry, October of last year. We had all of the hardscape, the driveway, and the plantings done this year. This was not a DEP filing,
You're right.
so I don't have a DEP file number, it's just
Just the file number,
yeah,
yes.
just the Douglas.
Yeah, we have the DG 24-041. So the reason why it didn't go to DEP is because there was no state jurisdiction here. There's an isolated land subject to flooding here over on the right-hand side, which has no buffer zone under the state law, but there's a buffer zone under the local bylaw, so that's what brought this construction into jurisdiction. So they didn't have to file with the state, but they had to file with the town of Douglas.
I don't think is that my house? I don't think that's my house.
Is that the right one? No, it's not the right one?
don't-
Oh,
no.
I'm in the wrong U Street? I'm at 71 U Street, sorry, but I'm at the
No.
wrong, I'm on U Street.
I was like, wait a minute,
Right
that doesn't-
church, wrong pew.
Okay.
It's 134.
Where is it? It's 134. Did we get the wrong U Street? All right, bear with me while I
No,
get it.
that's okay.
That one had a certificate of compliance too, so. Here we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to share this one.
Yes.
Now we're talking with Chris.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, so, here we go. We got the isolated land subject to flooding down here, which doesn't have a buffer zone under the state law, but it does have a buffer zone under the local bylaw, so this area here is what's jurisdictional. And Samantha did the inspection for this one. By the way, Samantha Sam was excited about this one because this is one of the first inspections she did with me when she first started.
Wow.
So this is the first one she's been able to see go full circle from the very beginning with the planning.
And she's not here
plans
tonight.
to the issuance of certificate of compliance.
Almost full.
Almost full
We
circle.
should push it another month so she
You get the satisfaction.
Give me another month.
Yeah.
I'd allow it.
Okay, so her comments are, I told the applicant that they could remove what's left of the erosion controls, okay? Because everything's stabilized. There were slight deviations.
Yes, so there were 2 deviations from the original plan. One of them was the garage. So originally, the garage that is near the in-law building was supposed to be 4 feet off of the in-law dwelling, and then when Ken Frazier came out to the house, when we were digging the foundation for the garage, he said, oh no, this building needs to be 12 feet from the other dwelling for fire safety reasons. I guess if one catches on fire, they don't want it to catch the other on fire. So we just shifted the building back 8 feet.
So you can see the original black outline right here, and then the actual outline is in orange. So they didn't move it any closer to the wetland, they moved it laterally, which I think is fine.
And then the other one was the septic tank. So if you can see where the original septic tank was supposed to be kind of like in the top corner, like a little bit up in the middle.
Right here.
We had always told Margaret Bacon at Allen Engineering that we wanted the septic tank where it ended up, and she was like, oh, don't worry, when we do the as-built, we'll fix it. So the septic tank ended up right there, yeah.
Right, which is more than 100 feet away.
Yes, it's outside of the buffer.
Right.
But those were the only 2 deviations on the plan from what we originally...
And I remember Margaret called me up specifically on these 2 as they were happening to run it by me, so she was on top of it.
Okay. That's it. All right.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the certificate of compliance for Anthony and Megan Farino at 134 U Street, map 222, lot 39.3.
All right, I have a first by Josiah, second by Kate to approve. Sorry, Anthony and Megan Ferraro, 134 U Street, map 222, lot 39.3. Roll call.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Jim Foran, aye.
That's it.
Sorry if I botched up your name.
Thank you. Easy peasy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Choppy day, brother.
Dedicated people built an in-law house.
Yep.
Brandon,
Yes, sir.
question about, sorry to backtrack a little bit.
Sorry.
On the previous certificate of compliance that we approved partially,
Yeah.
do we have to change the verbiage of the certificate of compliance that was
Mail it
signed?
to 'em.
Because it just says certificate.
No, it'll, that's just the signature page. There's a certificate of compliance document, and there are 2 check boxes, one for complete certificate or partial certificate. What Samantha will do, or Eliza will do when she's filling it out, is she'll check out partial, and that's what will get sent out, so you don't have to worry about that. But you made the motion, the motion was for a partial certificate, so that's what's recorded. Did you write that down? Yep.
Do you have the next one for the son?
There you go.
Go. All right, next on our agenda is, request for certificate of compliance for DP 143-1086, Don McCollin at 209 Southwest Main Street, map 227, lot 34. Anyone here?
Yes, Mark Allen from Allen Engineering. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Good evening. We have filed a certificate of compliance for work associated done within the buffer zone. I believe Sam went out to do an inspection. All of the area's been graded and stabilized, and we're looking just to kind of button this up and get it recorded at the Registry of Deeds.
All right.
This was associated with a septic system and a new 2-bedroom house. Tight tank went into the rear of the property, and the house went in about center located on the property.
Yeah, so, Mr. Chairman, Sam's notes here. Gravel parking area looks slightly larger than what was proposed, and erosion control needs to be removed if not biodegradable. Otherwise, recommend complete COC. So my question for Mr. Allen has to do with Sam's comment about, and no measurements were taken. She just did this through ocular estimation about the gravel parking area looking slightly larger than what was proposed.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I wasn't on site exactly, but there may have been a slight increase. I can't recall.
So the question to you, Mark, is do you think that this is a significant change or will adversely impact the wetlands due to the change?
I don't. It's a pervious surface. It's not a paved surface. The stormwater can, infiltrate through the gravel driveway far better than, a paved surface. And it's on the opposite side of the wetland, so it's on the uphill side. So I don't see any negative impact.
Okay. So for discussion and Sam's recommendation is a complete COC.
Did she say how much bigger, or she just?
She just said looks slightly bigger, so slightly. Operative word.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not really drawn on the original plan, is it?
The driveway?
Yeah.
So you can go to the original plan then.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking in the wrong direction.
Here's the original plan.
Because doesn't it look like the driveway was like the width of the house?
Just about. If you look at this plan, it's the darker gray area, proposed gravel area right in here. See that? I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. There we go. And then the as-built does not show that gravel area. But I personally don't think it's a pervious area. If Sam said it's only slightly larger,
Okay.
then and Mr. Allen is certifying that he does not feel that it is a significant change. It will adversely impact the wetlands. I am personally willing to accept it and make a recommendation to accept it, rather.
Mr. Chairman, how far is this from the wetland?
So the wetland is on the left side of the property.
Yeah.
On the original plan, there was a driveway there that was eliminated.
Okay.
Okay, so that's, I see as a positive. So the work here is within, all the work was within 50 feet.
It's within 50 feet?
Yeah, the whole thing was within 50 feet.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Any?
Well, the limit of work of disturbance is not supposed to be under Table 1 of the Douglas Wetland Protection Regulations.
Well, the limit of work was not expanded. It's just the gravel driveway within the already approved limit of work looks a little bit larger than it was proposed on the plan.
Oh.
But it is all within the approved area for work. Right, so the limit of work did not go any closer to the wetland. That's important to point out. It's just that the gravel parking area is slightly larger within that already approved area.
Okay.
It's just an observation that she made.
All right.
Anything else? Anyone? Someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the certificate of compliance for DEP number 1431086-209 Southwest Main Street.
Second.
I have a first by Brandon and a second by Kate to approve certificate of compliance for 143-1086 for 209 Southwest Main Street, map 277, lot 34. Roll call.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Jim Foran, aye.
Very good. Get you that paperwork.
All right.
Go.
All right, moving on to the next one. Certificate of compliance for DP 143-1095 for Tim and Beth Longan at 278 Northwest Main Street, map 159, lot 8. Someone here for that?
Mark Allen again. I'm sorry, yeah, Mark Allen again here for the Tim and Beth Lonergan, 278 Northwest Main Street. This was a new construction house built, and all of the infrastructure has been completed, all of the utilities are in. They do have occupancy. They have had all of the grass grow, all of the drainage structures are in and functioning, and I believe an inspection was made last week at the property. And Tim has been mowing the grass regularly, so it is very stabilized. He wasn't sure whether or not to remove the erosion control prior to this hearing or not. So if he's granted an approval, he will take those erosion controls out immediately.
So, Mr. Chairman, Samantha's comments are erosion control needs to be removed if not already biodegradable. No issues, looks good, recommend complete certificate of compliance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any comments? Nope. Someone want to make a motion then?
I'm making a motion to approve the certificate of compliance for DEP number 143-1095 at 278 Northwest Main Street.
I'll second it.
Thank you. So I have a first by Brandon and a second for Josiah to approve the DP 143-1095 for Tim and Beth Longran at 278 Northwest Main Street, map 159, lot 8. Roll call, please.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Jim Foran, aye.
Great. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
All right, so Brendan, recommendation, because we got some more to do, and I know you're going to be making the motions. With the certificate of compliance, how I would word it is, I recommend issuing a complete certificate of compliance or a partial certificate of compliance for whatever project. So recommend issuing complete or partial.
Got it.
Thank you. All right, next on our agenda. Sorry. Would be DP 143-0621 for John Bombara at 288 Northwest Main Street, map 144, lot 11.
Yeah.
Come on up.
Cookies.
You doing? Yeah. Have one.
Just name and address for the record.
288 Northwest Main Street, Douglas, Mass.
Thank you.
So it's the owner. So that's
John Bombera. Thank you.
Yes, Bill.
Okay, so, Mr. Chairman, Sam's notes on this is needs engineer's letter, didn't have original site plan to compare with as-built. So, let's see here. Hawk Consulting, Tim Callahan. Okay. So looks like we have an as-built, but you need a letter from the engineer confirming that the work that was conducted is indeed compliant with the order of conditions issued by the Conservation Commission. We need the engineer that has that stamp to certify that.
Okay. This is the second time I was here. This house is 19 years old.
Right, but so
I'm just saying. I was surprised that this. I'm going to sell a house. So,
you're just looking for a certificate to
yeah,
sell your house.
so I'm looking for a certificate. So,
Brandon, is it a requirement to have the engineer's stamp or a recommendation to have the engineer's stamp?
Yeah. The stamp itself,
or a letter from an engineer?
the letter, right, there has to be an attestation from the engineer of record, or an engineer that you can find if it's old enough, that the project was built in compliance, in significant compliance with the order of conditions.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
If I may interrupt. Mr. Bombara said he's been living here for 19 years.
yes, sir. There is another document that
Yeah,
has everything on.
I think we could waive this to, this is crazy. 19 years
Yes, sir.
in town of Douglas?
Yeah,
You're paying taxes?
Yeah. 19
Yeah,
years.
okay. I make a motion to accept the certificate of compliance for Mr. John Bombara at 288 Northwest Main Street.
Can we discuss this more before we?
Sure.
Well, sure.
So let's go.
Sure.
I want to make sure I'm understanding. While I'm fully supportive of this.
Well, let me give you some history.
He just needs this to close
I
the
don't
house.
need the history. I just want, from my perspective, I'm just looking to make sure we're following the rules and regulations.
I just had this done because I laughed at it. I was like, you have this already.
Again, I'm not arguing any of that. I'd hate for us to give you approval and then the DEP says you can't give him approval, which it sounds stupid, but weirder things happen. So I would just ask Brandon, if we do this, Brandon, if we approve it, without the engineers, are there repercussions or anything that could come back that would prevent this from going through?
Absolutely not, no.
But I would like to hear it from Brandon.
I like to hear it from Brandon, too. Yeah.
Let me.
No, the answer is no.
Okay.
I mean, come on, guys, really. The guy wants to sell his house.
Look, I'm in full support of it happening. I just want to make sure it doesn't come back to
It's kind of funny because everything was done way before this, and I'm going to say 2006 and 2007.
Yeah.
Whether or not you lost everything, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But we have changed a lot of people in the office over here.
Yeah, we're all.
It gets misplaced. The septic system that was put in 1981, that was gone. So I just had that tested, and that was okay. It was a stamped and all that.
Could we just let Brandon give us his opinion on the subject before we vote? All I'm looking for is some feedback so I can make
Mr. Chairman, my motion is still on the table, and we wait for Brandon and Brendan to discuss this.
So here's the Certificate of Compliance applications. It's Wetland Protection Act Form 8A. All right. You get to the project information section on page 2, and it reads, did the order of conditions for this project or the portion of the project subject to this request contain an approval of any plans stamped by a registered professional engineer, architect, landscape architect, or land surveyor? And the answer is yes. It was done by Hawk Consulting.
That's the last one. There was two of them before that.
Right, well, but the one that we're working off here.
Yeah, it's Hawk.
Is Hawk, which
Yeah.
is Tim Callahan, and here's the stamp
Yeah.
right here. Okay? Okay, so then, hold on, let me go back to this. If yes, attach a written statement by such a professional certifying substantial compliance with the plans and describing what deviation, if any, exists from the plans approved in this order. And you can see that the yes and no checkboxes are not completed. And then when you get to section B, submittal requirements, I'm sorry, forget that. So it's, if the answer is yes, if there was a site plan, attach a written statement by such a professional stating that there's substantial compliance with the plans and describe any deviations, if any, from the plans. And that's the comment that Sam made, is that we don't have that letter.
So if you email that right there to me, and I have it stamped by that gentleman, is that okay?
Well, he has an as-built plan, but the as-built plan is
I just asked you a question.
showing.
Just, if you email it to me, can I have him stamp it and that would be okay?
It's not that simple. He has to write a letter.
Okay.
It's not a plan, because he already submitted a plan with a stamp. He has to write a letter stating that, yes, what he has done, what has been constructed, is in substantial compliance with the order of conditions that was issued by the Conservation Commission.
So Brandon, just for clarity purposes, sorry.
No, go ahead.
If the stamp on the as-built is from the engineer that designed it, or any PE for that matter, technically, we have approval from the engineer saying...
That's not approval. That is a statement of fact. All right? That's showing what's there. That's all that is just a inventory of what was done. That's all. It's just a statement of facts, really. And what we need is an attestation in the form of a letter from the engineer saying that, based on this as-built plan, I can certify that the project was indeed constructed in substantial compliance with the order of conditions.
If we don't have that, what could happen to this gentleman? If we vote on it and we give him his full certificate of compliance tonight, what's the worst thing?
Nothing. Nothing.
The worst thing that could possibly happen is that DEP red flags it.
So we have it for all of them that we've done. So even on this one from Allen Engineer, it says on behalf of whoever, and then it just says respectfully request a certificate of compliance for all the work under the conditions, and it lists the address or whatever. And it says work has been completed in substantial compliance with the approval plan. So this has to go with that. So
I understand all that, and it's, to me, it's a formality because it's 19 years old, and
yeah, he's been paying taxes for 19
years. I just wanted to make sure I understood the repercussions. That's all I was looking for.
Brendan, if he missed his taxes 1 year, they let him know.
Again, I'm not arguing. I just wanted to make sure I understood the repercussions.
Yeah,
I've had Andrew survey, Yurka surveyed in the beginning, then Andrew survey took over. Then, of course, it's been years, and of course, that was a surprise to me that they couldn't find anything. I'll be happy to confer to what you're asking for, a letter from him. You already got the stamp, am I correct? It's on.
We have the as-built plan, but the as-built plan is just part 1 of 2.
Okay, I'm going to give you 2. Is that what you want?
Yeah, part 2 is the letter from Mr. Callahan saying, yes, indeed, it was constructed.
Okay, so if I bring that back within the next 3 days?
And then at the next meeting, you can get approved.
Okay, that word you just said, approved.
Would he have to come in person? He doesn't have to be here in person at that
He doesn't have to be.
no, you can just submit it, and then we'll put it on the agenda. And
Yeah,
then
I mean, Sam has no problems with it other than the formality of.
It's a formality.
They require the letter from the engineer.
What if we made it a condition to give him the certificate of compliance?
No, you don't have to do that. I get it. You don't want to piss this guy off, that's all. So listen, I'll come up with it. It's obviously, you're pushing back. You're pushing back now after 19 years. So I'll get you what you want, and I'll be back next, all right?
Sorry about that, Mr.
That's all right.
Bombara. I apologize. That's minutia, man.
Continued for-
It really is. It's his property, you know?
I'm not arguing. Why didn't we vote?
I don't know, I put a motion out there, to accept Mr. Bombara's certificate of compliance, to accept him.
I don't think he needs to be here.
No, it doesn't need to be here.
I put it out there, and no one seconded it, so it's still, my motion is still.
No second, the motion dies.
But sorry if I broke up but I had questions before I was willing to second.
No. Okay.
So, just again, I want to make sure I'm following the right.
Okay.
I'm not trying
I could repeat it again, that.
My theory is, what's good for one has to be good for everyone else.
Yeah,
So the
of
minute
course.
that you start making, no, just hold on, let me finish.
Yep.
The minute you start making an exception for part one over here, then we're going to have someone else that we had that either got misplaced or whatever, and then we don't have a completed. But hold on, and it's only 10 years now. So when do you draw the line? Oh, well, it's been a year,
Right
so
now-
I don't have it. So are you just going to start?
Mr. Chairman, the line right now is 19 years.
I understand that.
So
With one-
that would be, if you brought that to a lawyer, that's what they would say.
Concern, I'm sorry to interrupt, but my concern is also if the gentleman selling his house, does that become the
It's an issue.
responsibility of the next owner to then have to follow up and
Yes.
handle
No, it's
whatever. Once you transfer a house over, it's all their problem.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's not prior. It's their problem now.
Well, again, just to make sure we close this out, Josiah made a motion.
Right, if no one seconds it, then the motion dies.
Okay, but I interrupted before I think anybody had a chance to second.
Then you can discuss it, or if it stays silent, and then the chairman eventually decides that there will be no second, so therefore the motion dies, I think that you should say that.
Okay. The other question I had is that could we technically approve it on the condition once the letter's received and then not have to wait till it goes
You
to the
can,
next?
but
or
the thing is that once you vote on it, it's pretty much
done deal? Okay.
done deal, so
Okay.
I don't recommend doing that.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion made by Josiah. Is there a second? All right, since there's no second, then we will continue this until the next meeting.
Yep.
Next on the agenda,
Tough crowd.
request for certificate of compliance, DEP 143-0967, Douglas Renewable LLC, 170 West Street, map 160, lot 2. Is anyone here for that?
Yes, I am, Mr. Chairman.
Name?
My name is Nick Santangelo. I'm a civil engineer with Beals and Thomas, representing the applicant, Douglas Renewables LLC.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I performed this certificate of compliance inspection with Mr. Santangelo and one other person, I forget his name, not necessary, in July, early July. And this is for Douglas Renewables, which is a large-scale solar project. Okay? And sorry, it was on the 23rd of July, rather. I thought it was earlier than that. This is a big, important project, so I'd like to give you a quick little tour.
Yep, absolutely.
There was a wetland replication area near the road that needed to be done. It is completely chock full of plants. Not all of the woody vegetation, like the shrubs that were required to be planted, survived. but the area is 100% covered with wetland vegetation regardless of that. So I am not too worried.
Okay.
Okay, this is the area. You can see it's pretty thick. This is the entrance. Do you see that?
No.
Nothing up there.
You're not up.
Oh, sorry. Good question.
We see a lovely picture of you, Brandon, but not the...
Everybody calls that the Scotsman. I just went to the highlands up in New Hampshire.
Oh.
Okay. And here we go. So you can see it's pretty thick with veg. Here's one of the woody plants to survive. Okay, then we keep on moving on. Here's the entrance from West Street. And then I'm just going to basically give you the tour, continuing down the road.
How long is that road down there?
Oh my goodness, it's got to be a quarter to a half mile.
Really?
Yeah, it's I never knew this even existed because it's so far back.
Yeah.
You can't even see it. Huh. And not only that, but the entrance drive, you drive right by it without even seeing it. I went by it and had to come back.
Yeah, I had to look for it where it was.
Yeah, I did too. So this was all approved under the previous commission. So. Okay. This is another wetland replication area, which looked great to me. Here's the wetland. You see, it's very thick. We get the wetland trees in here, the swamp maple. We've got shrubs. It's completely covered, like over 90% with wetland vegetation, looking great. So I think they did a good job with the wetland replication areas. Another shot of replication area number 2. More of the replication area. And then we come to a stream crossing, so they had to build a bridge. And here we are at the bridge. And it's a wooden plank bridge. And then I'm just taking shots of either side where the stream comes in and out.
Oh.
Yep. And this is what the stream looks like. So they create a natural bed and they put the stones down, so it's not like concrete underneath and just a flat slab. They made an effort to make sure that underneath the bridge it's just as natural as the areas of up and downstream. So I think they did a good job with that. Just showing some bit of the bridge of how it was constructed. And there's a little bit of riprap on the sides. Is the one side of the bridge. Looking at the bridge from the other side. And then we start getting to the detention basins. And this is one detention basin, the one nearest the bridge, and you can see that everything's growing well, everything's stable. Mr. Santangelo, one of my concerns, if you remember, was to pick up the twine that's on the hay bales. Was that ever done?
Yes, sir. I've been told that that's been removed, as well as some of the other debris that you had noted on the site visit, including, I believe it was like automobile parts. I think you might have a photo of it as well that wasn't necessarily part of our project, but was proximate to Locust.
Thank you. Here's an overflow, the emergency overflow. This is called a level spreader. So when the water comes through, it hits this, which is perfectly even, so all the water goes over evenly instead of channelizing. It could cause, some kind of a gully going into the woods. And more pictures of detention basins. I think I also asked if the basins had been mowed, at least on the outside. Is any kind of, it's okay if it hasn't, but have you done any maintenance to the outside of the basin?
Yes, we have. We had to perform that quite recently, actually. The grass is growing pretty quickly.
Excellent. There's another detention basin, looking just fine to me. Here's the outlet, emergency outlet. There's Nick over there. So
what happens is now we're starting to hit the solar panels. There's a drainage swale that goes around the outside and discharges into the basin. Emergency overflow. Then we start to get into where the panels are, and I was checking for thickness of vegetation in and around the panels. And you can see we're just driving up. And you can say vegetation's growing very well. In fact, it's about time to cut in between the rows of the panels. And this was back in July. Another basin. This is a basin that's way in the back corner. And again, it's very well vegetated, well maintained. Just maybe do some cutting. You don't want woody vegetation growing on the slopes because it could undermine the slopes, so that you don't want the roots dying and creating voids that then if this fills up, the side slope will. Level spreader. Here's the outlet pipe going into the woods. This is where the water goes out of the basin. So I'm just checking to make sure everything looks like it's been maintained. It looks like it has. More pictures of the vegetation growing between the rows to make sure that everything is stable.
Wow.
Yeah, huh? Isn't that something?
How many panels are back there?
A lot. You know off your hand, Nick?
I'm looking at the paperwork here, and it's like,
It's a lot.
There's rows.
It's a big
and there's
project.
another one.
Yeah.
When was this built?
Yeah, I'm not sure how many panels it is. I know that it's 6.5 megawatts.
How many acres? That would be an easy one. Any idea?
Let me see if I have it somewhere on our plan.
Probably 50.
7.
I'm not going to say you're wrong.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that from looking at the as-built plan that was shared with the commission, parcel 1 had a lease area of 26 acres. Parcel 2 had a lease area of 7, so somewhere in the 30s range, 35.
Yeah.
Wow. I never knew that was back there.
I didn't either.
I never knew that was back there. Wow.
It's way back out there in some alcove. So,
Intercept it, reduce my electric bill a little.
Yeah, who's 6.8 megawatts, you said?
Yep.
6.5.
So,
6.5.
Mr. Chairman, my recommendation is to issue a complete certificate of compliance.
Okay.
It's been the two
Yes,
years.
it has.
Wait, okay.
Yes, it has.
Oh, yeah. Here's the chairman.
They've done everything that they were asked for.
I make a motion for approval of a complete full certificate of compliance for Mass DEP file number 1430967 at 170 West Street, Douglas.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a first by Brendan and a second by Kate to approve DP 143-0967 Douglas Renewable LLC, 170 West Street, map 160, lot 2. Roll call.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Jim Foran, aye.
Good evening, Mark.
Good evening. All right, we are all set.
You missed most of the fun.
I know.
Let's go back and bring Mark in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you can please send the signed COC to Beals and Thomas's Southborough office, that would be much appreciated.
Will do.
We'll take care of the recording and we'll provide proof of recording to the commission once complete.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
To Beals and Thomas. B-E-A-L-S.
There you go.
Thank you.
That's where we are.
Yeah, you just keep going.
Oh, you want me to keep going? All right. All right, next on our agenda is the cease and desist, alleged violation for South Street for Ryan and Morgan Norton. Come on up.
So on this one, Mr. Chairman, a complaint came in of unauthorized clearing of trees and ground disturbance within at least the buffer zone, potentially bordering vegetated wetland, bank of stream, and its 100-foot buffer zone, and the 200-foot river fronting area associated with the USGS map perennial stream. And a cease and desist letter was sent out dated September 4th with a order to immediately cease and desist any activity that might cause further alteration to wetlands, and requested that the owner come to the Conservation Commission tonight for a discussion, please. So thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
Okay. Okay.
So Brandon, this was the unit.
This came in as a complaint.
Okay.
Samantha sent out a cease and desist letter. We have not performed an inspection because there is no application. This is still technically, private property, which we would need authorization to be on. But we always start with this letter asking for a cease and desist, and please come for a discussion, and I'm glad you did. So with that, I would ask if you could explain what's going on and if we're crazy.
I would never say you're crazy. First.
Just your name and address.
Brian Norton, 200 South Street, Douglas.
Thank you.
I have been doing some tree clearing. I own a horse farm. The last several years we've had pretty rough years for the trees, including the moths, the droughts, and then horses aren't very good on trees either. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it, but they usually end up taking the bark off around it, and it became a safety hazard for the horses and the children and some of the boarders that I have. Ultimately, the goal was just to make it safe enough to allow horses to be paddocked out there. I was unaware of any wetland violations and willing to work around that if there's something that I can do to make that a further conversation. I believe my wife had in town hall, they said that there was a river in my yard.
Yes, is it Bating Brook?
Yeah, so the Bating Brook does go much further out back. I think you can see in the top corner there, it does get rather wet in the back. I have no intentions of being out there. It is very much just wooded area that's...
Right. Well, here's the thing is that it also shows a branch coming right through here.
Which I do find extremely interesting because I have never... I mean, you can Google map it back since before I bought it, and there's never been a river there.
Okay, so let me do a little, go back in time. So you own both of these properties?
I do own both parcels, yes.
Okay, so we've got...
And you can see the area that I've worked on to open up for horses there, which we did have horses back there originally, and I quite honestly couldn't keep up with mending the fences as frequently as the trees were falling.
How long have you owned the property?
10 years.
10 years, okay. So this looks like a wetland back here to me.
It is,
right
absolutely.
Here. And this, I guess the stream comes through here, but it also shows the stream coming through here. I don't, so, USGS, it's not gospel, so you have to field verify it, and I haven't had that opportunity.
But, let's say you go back to the 1990s, and this entire back lot is forest, okay?
Yep.
Then you come up through time. Here we are in 2001. You can see the wetland pretty clearly back in here. I can't really make out a channel here just by the aerial photography. Doesn't mean it's not there, but again, the only way to know for certain is by doing what we call field truthing. Then we get to 2005, and then this back area starts to get cleared out for the first time. And Sam did a permit search with Jen, and there's no record of any permit for these properties ever with the town of Douglas and the Conservation Commission. All right, so then we go to 2008, stays about the same. 2011, still about the same. Same in 2013, 14, 15. Then we get to 19, and it starts to expand back here.
That's where I've had my horses, and that's, I believe, one of the first years we started having some issues. I think that was the year with the moths that had just...
2015 was the year with the moths, I remember.
Okay.
You might have had some issues in 29 here too.
I think at that point I started noticing everything was dead. I'm not much of a herborist, so...
I do remember that year very well. It was 2015 was the massive gypsy moth infestation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
by 2019 you would have noticed the tree.
Things are dead. I have some pictures of even the property abutting mine that I have not spoken with my neighbors to see if it's okay to take down the completely dead trees to make it safe, but...
You can see...
Yeah, I had...
Right here, is this the brook right here? Does it go this direction?
That's about where it starts to get wet, but...
Right here? Okay. And then we go to 2021, still about the same, then 2023, and then we expand into this area. So that right in here?
Yes.
So right there, and that is the DEP shows this green line right here.
Okay. As
the wetland. And again, that's not gospel. That's just an estimate, but it's a guide for these kinds of situations we are right now to figure out if further action is required from the Conservation Commission.
That's where you're saying the wetlands.
That's where DEP says the wetland starts.
Okay.
So this would be the wetland itself, like the actual swamp. And then you have the 100-foot buffer zone, but there's also the 200-foot riverfront area associated with the perennial stream. And you remember, it shows two branches, one over here, one over here. Who knows exactly how accurate that is, but
I will
something
contest in 2015 that there most definitely was no, that was dry as a bone.
Dry as a bone over here. So maybe they think it's over here. Maybe there's a branch right here.
I will not contest that on the top point it does get wet through there, and that's where it connects to the pond to the further down the south.
Okay.
And as I said, I don't have any intention, or I hadn't any further than where that is now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to build or anything. It's just I didn't know that was within that buffer zone. So it's just for the horses, for fencing and safety. And I mean, if there's something I can do to...
I don't want to see this end up being another 206 West Street where the DEP commandeers it and makes the commission look bad. So I think it's just looking at these aerial photographs, I think that the probability of impact to buffer zone is 99.9%, and the potential impact for the actual bordering vegetated wetland is also very high. I'm going to say greater than 50%. Potential impact to riverfront area is also extremely high. I'm going to go with over 90% probability for that. So I think that this is just sitting here in the comfort of my own chair. I think it's highly probable that there have been alterations without a permit to wetland resource areas. So the question now is what course of action, or you obviously discuss, and then what course of action do you want to take? My request to try to keep this low key is
ask Mr. Norton if he would be so gracious as to allow me to visit your site with your supervision. That's something, and if you don't have to agree.
I would like to work with you guys. I don't want anybody getting in trouble, and I don't need, honestly, I'm very anxious dealing with it. I don't necessarily want to be getting anybody in trouble, including myself. So if I can work with you on making everybody happy, then.
Well, what I would do is I would at least make an initial assessment of what's going on to field verify what I'm seeing here on the aerial photograph. And then we come back in 2 weeks, and then we can have a more refined discussion.
We being the board, necessarily Mr. Norton being here.
Yeah, Mr. Norton can't be. I highly recommend that you or a representative of yours be here.
Or at least on Zoom.
Or at least on Zoom, yeah.
A representative.
Because my answer might not be good. You know, I might say that there's significant wetland alterations back here that's going to require Mr. Norton to do some restoration. You know, for example, the thing that got missed at 206 West Street is that for new construction, and remember, they were doing horse paddocks as well, okay? When you're next to a perennial stream or river, the first 100 feet has to remain untouched. And between 100 feet and 200 feet, you're only allowed to alter 10% of that area, okay? And this looks very similar, potentially, what happened on West Street. So I don't want to have this taken out of the commission's hands again by DEP because they were not really happy with the commission last time, so let's avoid that again.
I do have one question.
Yes, sir.
Is there any consideration to the amount of wetlands created directly by rain runoff? There's a very serious drainage issue that I've been trying, at one point when I first moved in, my entire yard, when it rained, it ended up in my house, 210 and 214, and then the following property, I think it was 220. And there's actually been some litigation involved with that, not on my end, but on the neighboring, and then they also spent, I believe it was upwards of $1 million trying to repair drainage issues last year alone. So a majority of this water, I would say, is directly related to that just being dumped on our yards.
Yeah, so the answer is, of course, we'll take that into consideration. You know, sometimes stormwater comes in and does create a wetland that if you were to cut that source off, it wouldn't be a wetland anymore. I'll say that a lot of times, you know, back in the old days, the outlet pipe to the street was often put at the low point because that's, you know, where the water ran to, and a lot of times that's where the swamp is, at the low point, and that's kind of how it works. So the key is to have someone like me or someone of you hire yourself, your own professional, to make a determination of whether that wetland would have been there without the input of stormwater. Or did they just put the stormwater pipe there because that was the most convenient place to put it?
They dumped it on every single property line. I'm sure that was probably the easiest method, and they just, in 1968, I believe, the original.
In 1968, it was still the Wild West. There was no laws protecting wetlands. In fact, in 1968, they would pay you to fill in wetlands.
Yeah, so that's essentially what all of our neighbors are up against at this point, is that the water, they just kind of like, this is where it goes, deal with it.
Yeah.
And I understand it needs to make its way where it has to go, and if I got to build retention area and stuff for...
1968, there was also weren't as many houses. Douglas was very rural.
I think there was hardly any houses.
There was hardly. There might have been some houses, but you know, I grew up in the area, and I remember even in the 1990s, it was still very rural. So, you know, there's no houses, there's nobody to care, and then the houses get built, and then the problems happen. But would definitely be taken into consideration.
Yeah, that was
no doubt.
That was cow pasture at one point,
yeah,
according to the previous owner. So
I believe it. Okay, so would you agree to have
allow me or my assistant Samantha to do a site visit?
If that's what it takes to work through this, yes.
Yeah, okay. So that's what I recommend, and we'll reconvene. When's the next meeting?
Next meeting is
Next day.
October 6th.
Okay. I can't guarantee it'll happen by October 6th, but I can tell you'll be working towards it. So let's just put it on the agenda for further discussion on the 6th.
I would, if I could make a recommendation too, you may want to, Brandon's a very reasonable guy.
Yeah.
That's not what I
Nothing to
heard.
do with your alma mater or anything like that, but having said all that, you may want to deal more with him than hiring a private consultant to get involved. It might be beneficial for you, if I was making a recommendation to you.
I'm all for making things work, and I'm not being argumentative here. I don't disagree that there's water back there. Of course there is. I understood when I bought the property that
There's no judgment, there's no, moral indignation, there's just, these are the facts, this is the law. I'm going to do an investigation, I'm going to call it like I see it, and we're going to work through it.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I hate to speak for everyone here, but I don't think anyone thinks that you did that on purpose, knowing that there's water there.
well, I appreciate that.
Right, and-
It's been I bought the property knowing it was a project, and there was years of disrepair, and it was a horse farm prior. I pulled out probably 200 yards of manure. I've pulled out things that, quite frankly, in the 1960s, they would just leave out in the field. I've been trying to clean things up. I work 2 or 3 jobs. I just don't have time to do it all at once, so it kind of looks significantly worse maybe than...
I think I see you outside catching for your daughter all the time.
Oh, yeah. Now we've got kids who are in varsity softball, and I'm sure everyone here knows how that is. It's not an excuse, but life is busy, and
Totally understand.
You're a professional limo driver, professional escort is what you have to bring the kids everywhere.
Yeah, wherever they want. Horses included, yeah.
You go to work and then you cart your kid around to all their activities.
I traded in my truck for a horse trailer, so.
Has there been any clearing at that back part of the property?
Just
not clearing, grading and stumping?
Grading, well, so I absolutely removed some stumps there because it
Well, it looks like there's been some earthwork here, too.
Well, with removing the stumps, yeah. Do you see the pile of rocks there that came out next to the stumps? I still have the pile at my house. It's not like it's just there.
Yeah, and this picture's also 2.5 years old now.
It is, and I've done a little bit more. There's still dead trees. I've paid and cleaned up those trees that were there. I'm trying to do it the right way, just to remove what's there, and I've been picking out stuff that, as I remove things and get a little bit further into the woods and areas that are dying, I see old stumps and things that were just thrown out there, and I've been picking through this stuff to pull out old pipes, irrigation line pipe stuff, drainage pipes. It's a little bit worse than I intended, but that's not your problem.
So that's a good question, Mark, is seeing this pile here, is this all this material? I'm seeing the stones, and it looks like there's a pile right here.
There's a pile of sand.
Is this all from the site, or was there any material in?
That's 100% from there. It's just been flipped around, and and I've taken some of the stones and pushed it towards the edge. I'm not going to say I haven't, but...
What kind of equipment you've been using?
I own an excavator and I own a backhoe. The horses pass away, things happen. I have to move heavy equipment. I'm also a truck driver for my full-time job, so moving stuff around. I'm a supervisor for a contractor, so part of my job is moving equipment, and there's always usually some sort of equipment sitting at my house.
Okay. All right. I'm going to give you my card.
Okay.
And I'll ask you if you could just get in touch with me tomorrow.
Have you removed or imported any soil?
I have removed stuff that has come as far as, like I said, I had removed old manure. I removed some just leftover. I would assume it's probably just manure that was related to being a cow farm in years past. There's been stumps that I have removed from the trees that have passed. I have a dumpster there now just because everything we do, we end up, when it rains, I see a piece of trash broken out.
I have a very important question for you.
Yes, sir.
Because you say you have horses.
Yes.
Are you boarding any horses or doing any kind of other agricultural activities for profit?
She runs a horse farm from there, yes.
Is she boarding horses?
She has a couple of boarders, yes.
Okay, that's really all it takes.
Yes.
Does she have any receipts from those?
Oh, yes. Yes, she's registered tax ID. She's got receipts. She's got...
Okay, so that kind of changes the lens. All right, so can you provide those receipts? The reason why I'm asking you, because it's kind of a private thing, but under the state wetland regulations and under the bylaw, if you are a farm, and there's very specific requirements to be a farm under the Wetlands Protection Act, which means it has to be a commercial farm, not just a hobby farm for your own, personal use. You have to be providing a service or some kind of a product for sale. And you have to show proof that you have been, making sales, and you don't even have to be a good farmer. You just have to.
I was going to say it's very much not profitable. Hence the
it doesn't even have to be. It doesn't have to be
anything to be profitable.
It doesn't have to be. You don't have to be.
Making millions of dollars. Yeah.
But you have to show receipts that you are indeed making money off the land.
Oh, I can absolutely do that because I have to do my tax.
Because that changes the lens, because there's agricultural exemptions. Now, for example, we've got a perennial stream here. Normally, the riverfront area is 200 feet, but if it's a farm and it's considered new agriculture, and I presume you're making new horse paddocks back here.
100%, yes, that's the plan.
The width of the riverfront area is only 100 feet. So they cut it in half for agriculture. So it's a different lens in which we would look at it. So if you could, like when I come visit or when Samantha comes to visit, if you could provide those as proof, you are indeed running a farm for commercial purposes.
How much and what exactly are you looking for? I mean, if you type in my address.
So let's say you've been boarding to, I don't know, a couple people.
Okay.
Those people, I presume, are paying you?
That, yes, and we have lessons, and she does rehabs.
Right, and she's charging for that?
Yes.
It'd be on his taxes anyways, right? Wouldn't that be?
I mean, I can give you
I don't know.
range.
I can tell you that what DEP looks for are receipts, sales receipts.
Okay.
I've done this myself for clients.
Okay.
In the private sector. All you have to do is provide those receipts, and the whole lens by which we look at this can change. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to get you completely out of hot water, but it'll lessen.
Lukewarm, maybe?
Is that?
Lukewarm, maybe?
Yeah, it'll make it more lukewarm than red hot.
Okay.
Does he need receipts dating back to a certain time frame, or just
Nope.
a few?
Just current receipts or whatever.
Yeah, just like in the last year or two is fine.
Okay. How many are exact? Just a handful? I mean,
How many years back you been doing this?
So we started when we moved in January 16, and since then.
I'm sure you get them in boxes. Find the ones that are easiest to get to, and get those receipts.
Okay. Okay.
All right, then we can look at this a different way. So get in touch with me. We'll do a visit together. I'm going to bring my soil auger. I'm going to bring Eliza here, and I'll make her do all the hard manual labor.
You sit back and relax.
I'll sit
have
back
coffee.
and relax. Yeah, I'll point, and we'll have another discussion, and then we'll be back here hopefully in October 6th, and if not, if we don't get it all done by then, we'll just go to the next meeting.
Which would be October 20th.
In the meantime,
he should not be doing any further
Don't
removal
do
of
any more work
trees or
back
anything
there.
or dirt.
Just hold off for now.
Okay, I do have trees I use for heating my home. It's coming on that season, so is it possible
That's
to
fine.
work
That's actually an exemption.
I thought it was, but I'm not too familiar with.
All right, but you can
Rules
only, well, the way you did it here might not fit the exemption because
that 100.
if you're in the buffer zone or even in the wetlands itself, you can take up to 50% of the trees. All right, and you don't do it like clear cut one area. You have to take it evenly throughout, so you leave some cover, some growth. This is a complete clear cut, so I wouldn't say that there is an exemption for home heating of wood on your own property. But the way this was done, I don't think it meets.
Speaking specifically, in the next month or two, I would like to continue cutting and splitting. And
that would.
There's probably only 4 or 5 trees I have pulled aside to cut at this point, so.
No more cutting.
Oh, absolutely not. No more length. They're already laid, they're on the ground.
Oh.
They're in log length.
Good.
So I
That's
just
fine.
have to
No
shorten
more
them.
cutting of trees that are still standing.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, sounds good then.
All right, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Have a good night.
Don't speak too soon.
All right, next on our agenda is alleged violation for 11 Laurel Hill Road. Jim and Amanda Hampson.
Good evening, guys. Jim Hampson of 13 Laurel Hill Road.
Should you announce that I came into the meeting at whatever?
Yeah, do you know what time you came in?
Well, just before the South Street.
All right, just for record, Mark came in right before, what was it?
Item 10?
Item number 10 for cease and desist violation, just for our record.
Okay, so this is another complaint that came in that Samantha checked out, and she states that she thinks that there's definitely, this is the property, you own this property right here?
Yeah, so the lot 11 is actually no longer 11, it's tied. I got it combined. I purchased that last year and combined it to my lot.
Very good, so the tax assessor's map just hasn't caught up.
Correct.
But it's these two lots?
Correct.
Okay. So, but I think the main complaint was about this area right here.
Correct.
All right, so Samantha, I don't think she didn't go on the property, but she was on Laurel Hill Road, and she came down here on this road right here, Roslyn Road.
Yep.
Check it out from the back, and it's her opinion that there are definitely wetlands back in this area. So,
I just have a question on that, because I looked on the map on this site, and the only wetlands it shows is on Birch Hill Road.
Right, so this is the DEP mapping. And it's a good guide, but as my mother would say, it's not gospel.
Okay.
You always have to feel the truth.
Okay.
You got to put boots on the ground. Those maps were created as a guide for conservation commissions. But those maps were created by people sitting in an office interpreting aerial photography. So they did their best, and very often, even when they did find them, they usually got the core where it looks the absolute wettest, but they're actually, 9 times out of 10, they're actually bigger than that.
Okay.
And it's not uncommon that they miss some areas as well. So Sam thinks that there's definitely wetlands back in here, and that the work that was done over here, which is what, just some clearing of vegetation?
So I actually have permits in for an addition on my house since I purchased that land. Okay. So it's going to be a garage with an addition, with an upstairs coming to the left of my house where the driveway is. So I'm clearing, I was trying to clear that. There's going to be a retaining wall at the edge of my driveway, and I'm basically doing it for parking. I have 2 teenage boys, there's 6 cars, a boat, 3 jet skis between us all. So I cleared to, if you can almost draw a line from where the front of my shed is,
Right here?
Correct. That line across, almost halfway down the lot, give or take 50 feet. I was clearing that to put my driveway because when the addition goes on, I'm going to have a 2-car driveway at that point.
Okay, so Sam thinks that there's wetlands back in here. So the opportunity for that clearing to have been in the buffer zone is very high.
Now, when you say she thinks, is there anything documented? Like that there's wetlands back there, not just someone, it might be? Is it documented?
That there's an actual wetland back there?
Yeah, I'm just looking on where I could find it.
There's no documentation that we know of, but it doesn't mean that there isn't a wetland back there.
Well, I just know I was put on cease and desist for going into wetlands, correct?
Or any work that you have going on.
Any work at all? Yep. Okay. I thought it was just specifically because it's wetlands.
Well, it is because it's wetlands.
But there's no wetland documentation. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Right, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
Okay.
Which means it may get documented very soon for the first time.
Okay.
As far as we know.
Okay.
All right. So wetlands are protected resources in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, as well as the 100-foot zone around them. And any activities or work within the wetlands or within the 100-foot zone around it, we call it the buffer zone, requires pre-construction approval by the Conservation Commission.
Okay.
Okay, so the clearing that you did in preparation for the addition you want to put on, in our estimation, is highly likely to have violated the provisions of the Wetlands Protection Act requiring you to come in for pre-construction review. All right, so we do, you have private property, you don't have an application in, a complaint came in, it's our opinion that the complaint is most likely valid, that there is a violation, and at this point, we just asked you to come in, cease and desist, please come in, just like the last guy. So my modus operandi is the same as with him. And I would ask politely if you would allow me or my assistant Samantha, under your supervision, to visit the site to confirm or deny if the complaint really is legit.
Yeah, no problem.
Is that okay? We could...
Now, just out of curiosity, if there is wetlands back there, if it's determined that, what course of action do I have as far as after that, you know what I mean? I mean, it looks like I'm not in the wetlands, but I might be encroaching on the buffer zone, you're saying?
That's the feeling right now.
Okay.
I mean, you might be in the wetland, we don't know.
Yep.
Samantha said most likely just in the buffer zone. We want to verify that. But let's go with the best case scenario. Okay, the best case scenario is, yeah, you did some clearing, but it's only in the buffer zone. That means you need to file an application with the Conservation Commission to do what everybody else in town has to do when they work within 100 feet of a wetland. Either a notice of intent or an RDA, depending on what he's doing and how far he is away from the wetland. So that's it. If we can agree to allow me or Samantha to go there and do a little field truthing, that would be much appreciated.
Yep. Now, not that I'm opposing you, but what if I didn't allow you, just out of curiosity?
Then you would have to hire someone. Right?
I would have to hire somebody.
You would have to hire one, and I would recommend that the Conservation Commission issue an enforcement order to compel all that.
Okay.
Which we're trying to
I
not do that. You're a tax-paying citizen. We want to treat everybody with much respect as they give us. Right? So what I'll do is the same thing. We'll give you my card. Please contact me in the next day or two. We'll set it up. We'll probably do it on the same day, hopefully, as the other guy.
I'm off Thursday, Friday, so if you can make that work.
All right. Can you write that down? He's off Thursday, Friday. Okay.
Brandon, would you actually flag the wetlands for him, or just review and look at determination?
There's nothing in the Wetlands Protection Act that says the Conservation Commission or its agent can't do it. But then you have to trust the government, basically what you're doing here. So you have the option of trusting me to flag it for you, but I represent the town. That's who I'm working for. Or you can hire your own professional to give their own opinion. But then I would then go out review it to see if I agree.
I just find it really hard that there's no documentation of wetlands, but yet I'm encroaching on wetlands. That's what I just find hard to believe. How who's saying there's wetlands there? Why
Well,
am I?
someone called and complained, right?
Correct, but I'm brought in because I'm within the buffer zone, but like nobody can say where the wetlands are. I look on any map and
That's
it's not
because
there.
typically wetlands are not flagged until a person wants to do work in the area of where wetlands are.
So basically in the town of Douglas, I can't cut anything, fill anything without coming to conservation first and foremost? Is that
If you're
correct?
within 100 feet.
But I'm not with it. There is no wet zone.
Well, nobody knows.
Yeah,
There was a
it's
complaint, and because there was a complaint, we have to figure out if you are or are not.
Right, and Samantha Carew, my assistant here, co-agent, I guess you'd call her, investigated the complaint, and she is a professional in the field of wetland science, and it's her professional opinion that, yes, there is a wetland back there, and that the clearing that was done is highly likely to have been within 100 feet. So that's the best we're going to get at the moment, and that's what we're moving forward with.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Keep it quiet.
All right. Then you get in touch with Brandon and set it up, and then
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Thank you very much for coming in.
No, Brendan, speak.
All
Say
right.
something.
Nope.
Next on our agenda is Lakeshore Drive enforcement order. I'm sure nothing's changed, correct?
It's been crickets on tumbleweed.
All right, and he's not even on, so we're good to go. Next is unauthorized activity open space committee.
Oh, unauthorized activity by the Open Space Committee, yes.
By the Open Space Committee?
Yeah, it was a boo-boo. There's a path, a walking path that was created.
The 14-foot path?
It wasn't, I don't think it was a 14-foot path, but there was a path created through the woods, either in the wetland or the buffer zone of the wetland, without review by the Conservation Commission. So, not, this is a...
I think that's the, yeah.
It's whipping them with a wet noodle.
Is Sue here? Yeah. She is. Come on up.
Whipping with a wet noodle. I haven't heard that in a long time.
Well, he is kind of on the older side, you know.
I know, he's dating himself.
I mean, he knew 1967, 1968.
It was a great year.
I wouldn't know. I wasn't even born yet.
I know.
Sorry, Brandon.
All right.
He wasn't?
No, I was not born yet. I wasn't even a thought.
I've seen all the Super Bowls.
Okay, so what do we got?
So, yeah, we did the wrong thing, we admit, and
What's the location again?
it's the conservation area on Chestnut Street. It sort of stretches between Chestnut and Walnut.
Chestnut.
Being totally nuts.
Isn't?
What's the nearest address, do you know?
Probably the person that complained. There's only one house. There's only one house near it.
So, what's that? That's the property with the new sign?
No.
No.
That's the Keegan on
Keegan.
South Street.
That's what I was thinking of. It was.
Oh, is it? It's that one right there, right?
I thought.
I got it.
Is it?
Okay, so I'm going to.
Is it on our?
I'm going to share the location. You'll be able
Got to be the farm, right? The barn there?
The key.
The intersection?
Okay. So it's this narrow piece of property.
50 feet wide.
It's only 50 feet wide, but I guess it's to get back in here.
That's the conservation
This is
land.
the conservation land here, right? So there's a path coming from the road back, and Samantha says there's a wetland in it.
Well, I didn't see a drop of water, but, it is a drought. I didn't know that it was wetlands. But we should have, like before, when we consulted you, when we went along the Mazinski property and there was a river, and you guided us to say, keep away from the river, but, I had no idea it was wetlands.
What was done?
We cut a trail probably 50 feet in, maybe.
So 50 feet long.
Hand cut a trail?
Well,
And
we had a chainsaw. And
Yeah.
whacker.
no stumping was done or anything like that?
And then we got to 50 feet, and there was a clearing with no vegetation and rocks, and I said, well, this might be wet, and stop here. But there was nothing to, there was rocks, more rocks than at the other properties or whatever, which to me is, I guess I should have figured it would be wet.
Brandon, you mind zooming out a little bit? Just trying to figure where's Chestnut relative to this.
It's off South Street.
Oh, yeah.
Chestnut and Walnut.
Yeah, I know what that is, yeah.
Let me get rid of all those little...
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, now, yeah, it's like mud.
There's Rhode Island.
Maybe I need
It's
to
empty.
cross,
It's empty, there's no lots in Rhode Island.
Now,
Conjuring houses for sale.
I thought it was.
It's going to be auctioned on Halloween.
Is it?
Freak show.
What's that?
Oh, yeah.
The Conjuring House.
I'm not even familiar with that.
Come on.
The famous movie?
Watch that movie. Come on. There's 3 of them now.
No, that means that he has a life, okay? If he's not paying attention to this stuff, that means he has a life.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, right?
Anyway.
I'm doing other stuff.
So let's say that there was a trail, it was cut, at least in the buffer zone, possibly in BVW. What are your thoughts? What was the process? So you just wanted to get into the back?
We've walked that property previously from Walnut Street and negotiated with the owner of a piece of property on that side to make an additional access. And so we had gone from the north to the south.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And so this, the only access is the 50 feet. So we decided to tackle it. We were so excited about our victory at the Mazinski property. We had nothing to do for a day, so. Talk to him. The man with the chainsaw and the energy at 90.
Yeah.
So I think that there's nothing stopping them from applying.
Correct.
For what they would like to do.
Correct.
But for now, cease and desist. And you have 2 choices. Either leave it alone, let it grow back, or come in with an application for, the path that you want to create.
Well, we can't go back in there and do anything else.
For now.
For now.
For now. Right.
So we would need someone to show us where it would be okay. That's the thing with these conservation areas. It's you don't really know where the opening is,
Right.
or
You're of the town of Douglas, so Conservation Commission's of the town of Douglas, so we can help you.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. So I'll mention it at our meeting tomorrow that we'd like to apply to get access to that. But it's, yeah. I just.
It is our access, so we want to be able to utilize it.
Right, and that's, I know there's more places coming up, and there's, usually we get the access is like you can hang glide in there maybe, but that's about it.
Hang glide.
And that's probably against the rules.
This is awfully close to the last person.
Oh, yeah?
Very close.
Yeah. Be consistent.
Somebody in that area.
Yeah. Yeah, I talked to, there's one neighbor, I talked to him, he was walking his dog on the street, and he said, oh, I have trails through there for hunting. There's a tree stand in there, right at the clearing area where there was no vegetation.
So where is the town
was happy.
property once you get through
His
that
wife
swath?
Right there.
That whole big piece.
Yeah, it's a nice
And
piece.
it's nice, it backs up to Thompson Circle there, or whatever, that is totally deserted.
Yep.
Driveways are just about in, but there's no houses.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's more than just that lot,
I've
right?
been through, actually did a pre-application meeting earlier in the year about moving forward with this, but the applicant, whoever owns it, hasn't submitted anything yet.
So,
And then that's their buffer around it that enables them to have those tight lots, right?
yeah, that's their open space plan, right? So,
So we couldn't combine our open space plan and maybe get access up Thompson Circle or whatever, and
yeah.
there's
maybe
a few retaining pools around there.
Well, there's access right here. and
Go
there's
towards
access over
Walmart.
here.
I know somebody who lives like right on the back of that property on Walnut.
Oh, yeah? Over here?
Yeah, right near, yes.
What number Walnut is that?
I'm 52.
Oh, you are?
I think I'm literally almost abutting that.
Yeah, that has wetlands in it.
That's you?
I'm 52.
Do you already have any trails in here? Is it? No. So this would have been the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
I know somebody that owns 70 Walnut. Is that close to the?
It's right up the street a little bit.
There's that
I think they get my Walmart packages and bring them back to Walmart. Drive right by my house.
Where would 70 be on there?
Where would 70 be? I'll find that out for you.
70.
Walnut Street. 70 Walnuts.
It's a house
They're a little bit further up, so not quite a
No matches found.
252. See if that pops up.
It better.
Yeah.
No,
there I am.
Wow,
70
That's your piece, huh?
Yep.
Nearly right
70's
against
not,
it.
that's right next to your property there.
Wow, so that, yeah.
Yeah, it's right up.
Walk through my property anytime you want to go back there. Just
Right
let me
up
know
the
because
street.
my dog doesn't like people. Unless I went to UMass Amherst.
Make sure you're not doing anything you're not supposed to be doing, sir, just to, clarify that before.
Yeah, we got that on here.
Oh, too bad it doesn't quite.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite, no.
Dangerously
That's
close.
so
That would have been great.
I think her lot is just a little north. Was that 63, the next one?
So it would be
66.
toward the bottom of the...
40.
No,
Yeah, going the other way.
48. 60. What?
yeah. There's a-
From 40 to 66 back to 48?
She owns, my neighbor
wraps
owns all
around.
the land around us, yeah, and across the
And
street.
here's 76 and 66. So it goes from 66 to 76.
I wonder what happened to that.
Don't know.
There's a cemetery backed
I'll
in
have to
there
ask
too,
her.
if you see cross.
Yeah. So in the end, I think this
Access
is a
to
great
that.
idea.
I agree.
Just let's do it the right way.
Yep. All right. Sounds good.
Thank you. Not today.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and then I do need just to put that Mike Ripko was not here tonight. I forgot about that at the beginning. Excused, I'm assuming.
I stopped and I knocked on his door. I'm telling you, I'm going to do it.
All right, so we'll just
Check it.
assume that is, okay. Did anyone happen to go over the meeting notes? No, okay. No one's, nobody's gone over them, so we'll just postpone.
How far in arrears are we?
We're not that far, come on.
Well, Jen likes to,
I know, but like, we've had a lot on our agenda.
I want to keep her happy. She's a
All
very
right.
important person.
So, Josiah, I know this is your favorite part,
Yeah.
and I don't have my gavel, so
You don't?
I don't. Someone didn't put it out, Brandon.
Oh. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
I'll second that.
All right, I have a,
Motion?
thank you. My brain just totally, like, escaped. A motion from Josiah, second by Brandon. Roll call?
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye. Jim Foran, aye.